Hi guys, good morning. Welcome back to a new video. Ki hal chal? I hope you guys are doing good. In this, we're going to see problem. Find the power of k size subarray 1. In this, we are saying that we are given an array nums and which is of integer length n and also positive integer k. As you can see, array nums and integer k is given to us. Now, the power of any portion or any array is defined as the maximum element if all of its elements are consecutive and sorted in the ascending order. If I keep everything side by side, which means that the array element should be sorted, which means okay, these are in the increasing order. If it is a, it is a plus 1, it is a plus 2. Because why it is a plus 1, it is not a plus 2, it is because they are also consecutive. So if first element is, let's say, 2, next will be 3, next will be 4 always. So the maximum element will always be the last element. That's one thing we know. If for any array, if it is sorted in ascending order consecutive, then the power will be nothing but the corresponding last element of the array. Now again, if it is not consecutive or if it is not sorted, in that case I will say it's minus 1. You need to figure out the power of all the subarrays of nums of a size k, which means that I am given an array nums, I have k as 3. I have to go and try for all possible subarrays, and you know subarrays, okay, this is first subarray of size k, next subarray of size k, next subarray of size k, next subarray, and then ultimately last subarray. If it is a good subarray, when I say good, it means that it is consecutive and also sorted in the increasing order, then I will simply say its power is 3. Its power is 4. It is not sorted, power is minus 1. Not sorted, power is minus 1. Not sorted, power is minus 1. You can see the answer is 3, 4, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. Now, the first very basic brute force approach says, obviously, I will be on an index I. I will take k elements. I can make a subarray out of it and then can iterate on that array and figure out if it follows both consecutive and increasing criteria. If yes, then the last element will be the answer. When I say last element of the subarray will be the answer. That's one way, but obviously it will be a O of n into k as time complexity. Can I improve it? Obviously, I can. How I will think of optimizing it? As we can simply see by the diagram itself, what is happening? It's nothing but a window which is being slid. So right now the window is here, next time the window is here, next time the window is here, next time the window is here. So I can easily see it's similar to a sliding window technique. But what I have to do here, I have to kind of maintain the thing, whatever is in my window. I have to maintain that in what order? In sorted, again ascending order, which means increasing order and also consecutive. So my window needs to follow a pattern. That pattern is either, again I'm just showing the pattern could have also been decreasing, but it is some kind of a pattern which is monotonic. Thus I know some sort of monotonic data structure I can actually use here to maintain the elements inside my window. You know also that the operation which you have to perform inside your window will be two. First will be, you will have to query, again obviously imagining, now I know I have to use sliding window approach. I also know that I have to also use some monotonic data structure, but then there are primarily two monotonic data structure which we actually hear about, which is monotonic stack and monotonic DEQ, or you can also take as monotonic Q, but rather than Q you can use a DEQ. That's best, right? It is same complexity, everything is same, it's just that add-on advantages. What you will use here, let's see the operation. Obviously we have the operation to query the front. Why to query the front? Obviously to know for this sub array what is the maximum element. So I will query the front, and also I should be able to query and remove or pop elements from the back. So I should also have the ability to look at the back of my queue or any data structure and remove the element also. So in this case, a DEQ is a best choice. So we realized because of these two operations, I can use a simple monotonic DEQ. See how we end up building the corresponding data structure. Now coming on back, how we will perform it. Obviously, for again, if I just put the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, my k is 3. So in the very beginning, I will simply keep on pushing the elements in my DEQ. So I have 1, then I push up 2 in the front, then push up 3 in the front. Then, okay, the size has become 3, which is what I wanted also. So for the current window, the answer is 3. Okay, next move on. As I move on next, I will have to remove this corresponding element. Okay, I will remove this and then I will put up the next element, which is 4. And how I can put up? Because I know the previous element was just 1 less. I'm not saying just less, it is 1 less. Okay, then it is also the size of 3. So the current answer of the window is also 3. Then move on next. Now I encounter a 3. Firstly, I will obviously remove the 2. Then I have the job to put up 3 here. Can I put up a 3 here? Obviously, I cannot. If this would have been a 5, I could have put up here 5. But it is a 3. If it is a 3, which means I have, and again, obviously, the previous value is a 4. It should have been a 2 to actually handle this 3. Now, these things are already there. This is coming up, which is violating it, and it should remain. It is not that I can just remove 3 itself. It should actually remain because it is a sub array. So obviously I have to remove everything before it and then start afresh from 3. Next 2 came in. Okay, 2 also is not more than 3 by 1. Okay, it's also less, but it is, even if it would have been more, it should have been more than 3 by 1, but it is not less. So okay, remove this also. But again, how to know the current answer? Window size should be more like equal to 3. In that case, my window is correct. Next, I encounter a 5. It is more, but it is not actually, just more than 2, which is 3. So obviously, and even if it would have been 3, still the window size is not 3. Thus the answer is incorrect. So what you realized here is that I simply used a monotonic DEQ. Now you might have many questions on how to implement it. So no worries, we'll see in the implementation phase, but I hope so you got the idea of what we are trying to do here and how we are shrinking the window, which is obvious. As you go to the next element, you just check the last element of the queue and simply remove it. Now, to check the last element of the queue, you also realize that the queue size can be small. Maybe the queue size is already small. So how to even think of that, what you have to remove and what not? So in my queue, in my DEQ as a data structure, I maintained a pair which will have the index and the value. Value will help me to figure out the comparison of the actual value, if it is one more or not. Index will help me to figure out the last element of my DEQ. If this is my DEQ, so the last element of my DEQ, if its index is out of the bound of my current window, I should remove it from my DEQ. That is, I needed a index. Again, it's not necessary, you can solve it without that also, but it is more simple to understand in that way. Before I go on to the dry run for this DEQ approach, if you did not know about this DEQ or monotonic data structures at all, I'll highly recommend go and watch this video, which involves using monotonic DEQ, and there are multiple videos on monotonic stack also. It's a very good approach to solve the problems which very have to maintain the order. Is either it can be increasing or decreasing. Now coming on back, as I showed you, I will take a DEQ of a pair. In that, I also need to initialize the current array answer, which will be my final answer, which I will have to return. I will go on to all the elements of my array. I told you that I have, again in the very beginning, my k was 3. So for all the elements, again for all the indexes, because if here I is equals to k, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at I equal to k itself, I should start removing the element which are out of my window. So only when my I is more than equal to k, then only I should think of removing the last element from my DQ. How I will do it? I will simply check if my DQ is not empty and the last element's index, if it is less than equal to my I minus k, which means I should remove it from my DQ. If not, then continue further. How I will continue further? I can simply I have simply removed this last element from my window. So now my window would something be like this. Although I should put up the current element inside my DEQ, which I will obviously do. As you can see, I have put up the current element at the first of my DEQ, which is I should have to do. But before that, one thing in these kind of scenarios where obviously this incoming element, which is nums of I, if it is not one higher than your first element of the DEQ, because currently the state of DEQ looks like this 3 4. So if it is not one higher, then obviously you have to remove everything from the DEQ. So I'll do the same thing. I'll check if my DQ is not empty and also the first element is not one higher than my current nums of I should remove everything from my DEQ. And I will simply remove everything from my DEQ. And then what I will do, I will simply push my current element, which is nums of I in my DEQ. And ultimately, you know that for this window the answer is 3, for this window the answer is 4. When I say this window, I mean my I starts from k minus 1. Only then actually I should start putting up my answer. So when my I is more than equal to k minus 1, so at that point I should start putting up my answer. When I say putting up the answer, I will simply say answer equal to answer of I minus k plus 1 will be nothing but if the DU size is k, which means I have k element in that sorted increasing order, simply get the first value which is in the extreme right, that's the first value, get the first value itself, again simply picking the first value and also getting the value itself. Else if the size is not equal to k, simply have a minus 1. Ultimately this is your time and this is your space, both O of n, because you are simply using your array, or I can say DEQ itself, where operation is O of 1. Simply sliding window is being used here. Now, this is the most intuitive approach, but as you wrote down this approach, you must have realized a very big green flag. What that green flag is, as soon as you realized that your incoming element is not one higher than your previous element of the DQ, you remove the entire stuff. Which is this operation. You will leverage this. You can leverage this fact. How? Let's see. So what you can do is you can maintain a simple counter. Okay, if this is okay in the very initial phase, my counter is 1. My counter indicates what is the length of the increasing array which I have got so far. Okay, the length is 1. Let's take here. The length is, let's say, in the very beginning, counter, I'll say counter is 1. Then I will go on to the I. I'll compare it with I minus 1. Say, okay, the counter has become 2. Compare, if it should be 1 more, counter is 3. Obviously, my counter becomes more than equal to k. I'm good to go. Then I go to next element. Again, don't worry about removing the corresponding element. Don't worry about it. Because obviously, if you are able to increase the counter by 4, you are maintaining that sequence. So don't worry about removing it at all. I'll show you why. Now, next time 3 came in, which is not one higher than the previous element. Obviously, the counter will reset to 1. Thus, I told you, no worry about shrinking the window. Don't worry about it, because obviously if the situation is not satisfying your condition, you will have to reset it to 1, because obviously you have to remove everything before and thus continue. Next time it is more than, no, it is not, reset to 1. Next time it is more than, no, reset to 1. Now obviously you will just check if the counter is more than equal to k. You had a window of size k which had all the increasing elements in that order of consecutiveness. So you are good to say the answer is true, or I should say nums of I is the current answer. So the code is exactly same. It's just that I will still iterate on my all the elements. I will check nums of I with the previous value, which means nums of I minus 1. It should be plus 1. In that case, I'll increase the consecutive count by 1. As I showed you, counter by 1. If not, then reset that consecutive counter by or to consecutive counter to 1. And if the consecutive count is more than equal to k, in that case, I'm simply good to put up the exact same stuff. That answer of I minus k plus 1 is nothing but nums of I, which is the highest value current in the current window which we have. And thus, I never had to use any extra space at all. Again, this space of answer is not counted as extra space. Make sure that part. So that your time is O of n and space is O of n. I hope you guys got it. If yes, then do smash that like button. Do follow us on Twitter. If you have any doubts, question, queries, ask on Twitter. We are planning to make a group there also. But yeah, the things coming up for Twitter. But yeah, do follow Twitter and LinkedIn, Discord, Telegram. So hey, bye bye. Take care.